Good afternoon, my lovelies. I told you I'd be back. Anyway, I'm up in the far north end of Halifax. I'm starting this video at the corner of Duffus Street and Lovelies, and we're going to be heading southbound to Lovelies. Then it will turn into Gottingen Street, and hopefully we can get to Gottingen and Cogswell Street. And that's where I plan on ending the video. Now, why I'm up here is that I'm in my favorite neighborhood, which is the Hydrostone. I've done previous videos here, but if you're new to my channel, the Hydrostone was the result of many, many homes being utterly flattened in 1917 with the Halifax Explosion. And they built this whole new neighborhood. It's very unique. It's like the only one in Canada. And the type of material that they used was a fireproof brick, and they called it a hydrostone. This is one of the wide ones, but this is Sebastian Place. The streets are named after explorers, colonists, settlers, whatever you want to call it. But these were the homes that had to get rebuilt in this area. Now in 1917, on a cold December morning, kids were off to school, people were off to work, everybody was just doing their daily things, like we all do. Nothing's changed. And two ships in the harbor. One was a relief ship, and the other one was a munition ship that got overloaded in New York City with extra munitions that it could not handle. They kind of were playing chicken, if you wanted to put it in those terms, in the harbor, and they wouldn't move for each other. So they kind of scraped up against each other, caused a spark, and we know what sparks do. And the munition ship it caught on fire. So one of the dispatchers for the railway, his name was Vincent Coleman, and he had to alert a train that was coming into the city to tell them, don't come in, because the munition ship is going to blow. And they weren't sure about how it was going to, how big it was. Well, let's just say it is and has been the world's largest man-made explosion pre-nuclear. So, in the age of having nuclear weapons in different countries, we had, this is the largest man-made explosion, and it still is, as a non-nuclear explosion. This is Merkel. Everything is called Place. So at 9:05 on December 4th, 1917, I had to think, that's when it happened. So this is the result of having the explosion. Now across the street, they're just regular, normal homes, not part of the Hydrostone. That's where we walked from. We'll keep on going. Depending on the length of this video, I'm not sure, because I'm only 5 minutes in. This could be a one-parter, extra long, or a two-parter. Now we're coming up to my favorite house at the corner of Columbus. See, you know what I mean. But it's this house here with the red. No, that's not the. That's my other favorite one. It's been a while since I've been out. I do have my knee brace on today. Yay! Because as predicted in my New Year's video, the next day, but nothing that a little 500 milligrams of naproxen can do to help.
9 to 6 p.m.
Now across the street where the green space is, that is Fort Needham Memorial Park. Every December 4th at 9:05, they ring the bells. They usually have a great big service, a memorial thing going on. There's no more survivors left. All the little babies have all died off. This is Stanley. This is the only street that does not have a park. It's not boulevardy. This is my favorite house. All their Christmas decorations are down, obviously. It is the middle of January. But if you can see the type of brick, I know it just looks like cinder block, but it's not. Now another unique feature too with the Hydrostone is that they have service lanes that go down in between from the backyards. So that's where all the green bins, blue bins, and all that are, and everybody's driveway. Hi there. She has 2 greyhounds that she's out walking, and they're in their sweaters, and they match. How cute is that? As you can see here, people here have really did some good maintenance. They have a little stone border around. They do have pine trees in the summertime. If I do come back, I will. Looks like they built a solarium, sunroom on there. But come spring, summer, when it all looks pretty again, we'll come back up. We have a spruce tree, shrubs, Livingstone, had a little touch of a stuffy nose the other day when I woke up. So, sorry if I keep sniffing. So we are heading closer to Yonge Street, and that is where Lovelies will turn into Gottingen. Oh, look at this cute little thing coming. Hi. It's days like today, I wish I had a dog. And this is Kane Place. Now the street at the end that runs parallel to Lovelies is called Isleville. Some people like to pronounce the S, Isville. And they kind of do the same thing to Gottingen Street. Gottingen is a German name, but they'll call it Gottingen. Drives me nuts. I wonder how many dogs we've come up and passed on our way. If I was smart, I would have known how to do a counter. So as you can see, that was a garbage truck. No, today's not garbage day. It's green bin day. So Hennessy Place is the last of the residential of the Hydrostone. I had a good turnout the other day on my premiere of my New Year's Eve video. I was a little bit late getting it out when I wanted it to, but that's okay. Life is happening right now in real time for me, so I didn't get a video out last week because I'm trying to set my Tuesdays as recording days, but last week it didn't happen. But it's Tuesday and I'm here. So, let's go down a little bit on Yonge Street, past the little shops and cafes that are in the Hydrostone. So if you want to learn French, you can through the Alliance Française. In the summertime, this is quite a popular little spot. It is a cafe. It's called Lucy's, but for the longest time, it was known as Julien's. And it was a French bakery. Cafe, we have a hair salon, we have an art gallery, which is up on the second floor. The yarn shop, that's been here for a while. We've Made in the Maritimes. Book on Maud Lewis. Book on Nova Scotia folk art. We have the Ostrich Club. We have Himachikita, Sushi and Asian. Now, best pizza in Halifax, in my opinion, Salvatore's. They make a tutu carne pizza that is to die for. That is kiddo's favorite. Little like personal pizza that he'll get when we go. Actually, I'll get it too sometimes, or whatever pizza I decide I'm going to try. We usually swap a piece. So I'll take a piece of his tutu carne, and if he'll get like a slice of whatever mine is. The Orland Brewery next to us, that is now owned by Labatt Canada. Is it Labatt or Molson's that still own it? Anyway, it's a Quebec-based brewery that owns it now. So, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. We just walked past Starbucks, and we have Flynn's. This is one of their many locations now in the city. It's one of those places that if you want Instagram worthy milkshakes and ice cream sundaes, you can go there. Osprey's Roost, it's a butchery. Because we do like butcher shops if you are a carnivore like myself. Granted, down a little farther on Gottingen Street, we will see a plant-based butcher. Yeah, it's called Springhouse. So this part, we're not on Yonge Street. This is called K Street. It is a one-way street. Here's a look at where we just were. So the Hydrostone is a very popular area to come walking, get things for picnic lunches from the cafes, and you know, if you're looking for gifts that are from Nova Scotia that you aren't going to pay an arm and a leg for like you would at the tourist shops that are down on the waterfront, come up here. That's my suggestion. But I know when cruise ships come in the summertime up until October, they can't, you know. A lot of people don't come up this way. They will on a bus tour if they're going to the Fairview Garden Cemetery, and that's where the Titanic graves are. Lovely Halifax Transit. So these apartments, condos, what are they? These were built probably within the last decade. After it's called St. Joseph's Place, and they tore down St. Joseph's Catholic Church. Now, the very last service that was at St. Joseph's Catholic Church before it did get torn down was the funeral for Denny Doherty. And if you know music, you know that he was 1/4 of the member of the Mamas and the Papas. He is a Halifax boy from the Northend. St. Joseph's Church was where he was baptized. He was an altar boy, confirmation, all that fun stuff that you do in church. That's where it was. And we have St. Mark's Anglican Church. If you're in the States, that's Episcopalian. That is where the food bank is that Kiddo volunteers at. Now, as you can see, construction ahead and the sidewalk is closed. So we are going to cross. And straight ahead is the Shambhala School. And we have a notable alumnus of that school, which is Elliot Page. This is where he went for high school. Actually, when Elliot was up for an Oscar for Juno, they had an Oscar watch party here. But at one time, this was, I forget what school it was called. I think it was Alexandra McKay. I could be wrong. So this is like Makara Street. I found, probably since the last time I was ever down here for recording purposes, there was not this much for new buildings. Now that building that is off in the distance, that's that's over at the corner of Roby Street and Allman. That is competing with a building that's down at the end of Quinpool Road on the Northwest Arms as the tallest building in Nova Scotia and east of Quebec City. So for Fenwick Towers, or now that they're called the Muse, or the Views, they are now both taller than that building, and that used to be our tallest building. It is like a sliver style building that was built in like the late 60s, early 70s. And I think it only had like 34 floors, like 34 stories. Yes, I know it's not big compared to other cities, but for Halifax, it is. So these are going to be condos called the North, NRTH. And they are street level, will have commercial and commercial properties and retail, and right next door to it is more construction. So yes, we are still in a housing crisis. because we are. We're no different than any other city. And sure, it looks like we're building a lot, but units are on par with what you would pay in any other Canadian city right now. Oh, and just in case you're wondering what's on the left of the screen, we're just going past the naval base at CFB Stadacona, and we just went past their gym, their ice rink. Nothing too spectacular. They took the old building that was like built shortly after the Halifax Explosion and rebuilt it. The Bloom, that's been open now for about 2 years. It's a weird building because they'll advertise a 2-bedroom and the second bedroom doesn't have a window, and that kind of goes against a code, so they have to, they should label it as a den because you need to have fire escape exits and stuff like that. So here we are at the quarter of Gottingen. And Gottingen, now that's a school bus for the Acadian schools, French immersion. So I'm at a half an hour right now, so I think I may have to turn this into a 2-parter because it took me a half an hour to get all the way down here from Duffus, and that's not too bad. Oh my gosh, this light is long. There's the Halifax crosswalk signals. Ooh. Let's see. What is gas at today? $1.62.9 a gallon. More buildings and more buildings. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is end this here for part 1, and I will see you next time for part 2. You guys have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.